Back to today's video. Today we're gonna be playing this game. Oh my gosh! Was I even able to show that? Guys, if you want to look at how far I am on the levels, you can check right now. I'm gonna show you where they are. They're right here. I'm gonna cover it. Just punched it. Bro, you're not even trying.
Are you not sure I didn't just go down?
Oh my god. Hi, Pop. Hi, Poppy. I see it. He see it. Woo, woo.
Turn the Wi-Fi on.
Oh, the Wi-Fi's fixed?
Yeah. The thing that's called Juan's iPad.
Oh yeah, that
Click
thing?
on it and it's gonna come up.
Alright. Nothing says Kwan's iPad. Look.
He's here.
Alright, we got YouTube back. Ho, ho, ho. Meow, meow. Alright, guys. Do not punch me because I am the headmaster of puppeteer. Yeah, he's not gonna punch me because I am the best person. Oh, I love you and you're on the same time. Let's go watch some YouTube on the double dive. Never back down, never what, never give up, never went down, never hit. Right, wrist up, I never ripped. I'm gonna watch this. We're gonna learn some creepy things. We're gonna learn something. You guys, we're gonna learn something that this guy's saying. So like this guy's gonna be talking about like stuff. And I'm not gonna be talking. I'm gonna let you guys watch it.
Ways to be. The adjustability.
Monuments of power, beauty, and divine worship. Behind these majestic sculptures, made from marble, bronze, or wood, often lie mysteries that have...
Never mind. Guys, go check out the brand new things that I were watching. Go check out the brand new stuff that I posted.
You've left me no choice. You've left me no choice. Nitroglycerin. That nitroglycerin was medicine for Robert's congenital heart defect. This man is dead.
One, two, buckle on my shoe. 3, 4, no. 1, 2, buckle on my shoe. 3, 4, no. 1, 2, buckle on my shoe. 3, 4, no. 1, 2, buckle on my shoe. 3, 4, no.
Knock, knock, motherfucker.
Learning about life, my woman brought children for me, so I can sing them all my songs and I'm still learning about life. My woman brought children for me, so I can sing them all my songs and
That's the most worst one That's the most worst thing I ever seen. Look. Stop! I want my subscribe? No. I'm not subscribing. Instead, I'm disconnecting. That point, that happens to me. I'm just deleting my whole entire phone.
And in the red next.
Oh, I'm spinning round and round. If you guys type in Henry Eats,
Adopt Me, then go to
type in Henry Eats on YouTube, or you can
Then
do
register
it,
here as well.
and then you'll
After
get
this,
nightmares
enter a promo
if you do it.
Whatever you do,
Yeah.
do not play this song on 3 times speed. Why? What's wrong with this sound on 3 times speed? If you listen closely, it's actually saying a secret message. Don't listen to this at midnight. It could scare you.
It's not gonna scare you guys. Ah! Alright, I made it over here.
Whatever you do,
It actually says, I need help when it goes. Dun, 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 dun.
This isn't 3 seconds song. This isn't 3 seconds.
It's actually 4 seconds.
This isn't 3 seconds song.
What? What is this scary? Nah, is this scary?
Bodyguard to protect you from this creature. This guy ignored.
But keep on replaying it. I got black, I got white, I just want. What the heck is... Where did I... What?
If a
Okay.
spider gets lodged in your ear,
Oh,
it
no.
resists the urge to dig it out with a...
But somehow...
will get him out?
If a spider gets lodged in your ear,
well, guys, comment down below what I should do, because I'm literally stuck down here. Help. Somebody please call for help. I'm stuck.
Travis Scott is back in Fortnite? Wait, what? Why is Travis Scott here? Thought they canceled, bro. What happened to Juice WRLD? This is so weird. I don't see... Wait.
He takes damage?
What? Bro, he's gone. I mean, at least I could get the skin. Travis Scott skin pretty fire, honestly. I like this one. Today's lucky Twitter.
Guys, trap. Made it. Wow, wow.
My first skin.
My favorite skin. The skin I used to wear, but I don't like it anymore. The skin I never use. The weirdest skin you're buying. The skin I never would find. The skin I never use. The weirdest skin I have. I could do better editing than that. Watch this. Just go on my account. Go right here. Brace yourself and hit that. Then you'll see this. Brace yourself and hit that.
Teach hackers can type.
And And I taught you guys how to get Phoenix marker. I misspelled it. Phoenix marker. He snaps your necks and he steals your neck. Adam better watch out. Okay, but I think you really gotta go. 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 They only snap people's long necks. Luckily, I'm safe because I don't even have that. I don't have a neck. No, I'm just kidding, I do.
Shout out to these guys buying our new mouse pads. And if you guys want to shout out just like this, go cop.
Great. Another whitey.
I got black, I got white, but go watch this movie at 9:00. Do watch this movie at nighttime. At home alone, and you'll be scared probably for the rest of this 2025. But we're gonna get in spooky mode. Did I scare ya? Shout down in the comments if I got ya. Scary videos. What's up, man?
Scary videos.
Oh, no. Can we even show this? She can rip her head off.
He said he doesn't believe in the hidden people of Iceland, so he traveled to Iceland to prove their non-existence. Locals told him that these beings can be very malicious if taunted, so he did the only logical thing and decided to go out in the middle.
Why?
He found this creepy little house and waited inside. Nothing happened, but the worst was yet to come. He kept wandering further and further and found this really, really cool waterfall. Now, at that point in time, it was very, very late at night and a storm was rolling in. Despite great fear of being watched, he decided to look out for who this could be and confront him in a very stupid way. He came across this trail that wasn't marked on any maps whatsoever, so he did the only logical thing and followed it to see where it was going. As soon as he got on this trail, the storm got much worse.
If you're here, trolls, whatever you are, come get me.
Subscribe for more. He said he'd...
Yeah, guys, this is not scary. Don't hide in the comments, guys. Don't hide. That's scary.
Scariest things hidden in normal
It's just a cigarette. Oh, guys, look at the shadow on the floor. There's somebody pushing it. Guys, look, I'm gonna show you. Right there. Zoom in, guys, right there. See it? It's right there. Right there. It's somebody. Who is that? Yeah, look at it. Right there. That's what I just did. Oh my. Zoom in. Tell me what that says. Help. Oh my. Different help.
Scary.
Now you're trying to pull it to my group. I think you really gotta. Now you're trying.
If your thumb can bend all the way back like this, you might think.
You have eye deportance and you're gonna die.
If your thumb.
Mira, Mark, soy brasileño.
Yeah.
I wanna be a spooky. She said I wanna be a spooky. Okay. Oh no. The scariest videos. Oh no. Ah! Guys, don't look. Don't watch. Guys, don't watch. Don't watch. Don't watch, guys. Oh, guys, watch this. Try got the one. Activating it. Oh, let me go get some water.
A Duramax 3-liter turbo
Alright, I got the water.
and a smart, spacious ride-on.
In the beginning, there was only
Inescapable death!
and this guy, and his name was
Bob.
and he stole the heart of that Mother Island, and he tried to escape, but was confronted by that island, and he stole the heart. Again, now he was struck from the sky, and he was dead. In the beginning, there was always, and
He was so ugly that everyone died. The end.
consider the nuts. There goes my we need a tea.
Alright, guys, let's go. Guys, do you want to see it? Alright, guys, we're watching this one.
When the snowflakes begin to fall from the sky and the streets and houses are gradually wrapped in snow,
Cartoon
Peppa Pig's
Correct.
family feels the unique atmosphere of the upcoming Christmas. During these moments, Peppa likes to spend time with her
What's
beloved
that?
brother George. However, from that day on, she would never.
How burn is it?
Just a couple spots.
That burn?
You can tell me that.
It's not burn. That don't look burn to me.
Look at that, it's snowing already. Ellie, it's snowing.
It's barely.
Mhm.
Look at it. They're already salting the ground.
I think so.
Eh.
You'll see it on
And you have no damn socks.
No, go put your shoes on.
Guys, look how. Guys, Travis, it's beginning to snow a little bit. Gordo, it's beginning to snow a little bit. There's little things falling from the sky.
Snowflakes, Austin?
Yeah,
It's really cool.
one. There's only like one at a time.
No, I'm really going on top.
It's snowing right now.
Never be able to play with him again. This is the story of a missing person, the investigation of which dragged on for several months. It all started with unremarkable snow. Peppa and George ran outside to play in the snow. They were enjoying the winter. The snow was very deep that day. After they had played enough, they decided to return home. But George did not go in. When Peppa had lunch, she decided to go back outside and saw a big snowball. She realized that George had started building the snowman without her, but most likely got tired and went home.
Pause.
She completed the snowman with head, and then
Pause. Did George roll up into the snow? Like there's 50% chance and not 50% chance.
came to her room to show the snowman to George, but he wasn't there. She got worried and told her parents. The parents went to look for George. They couldn't find George.
They gotta find
When they
him.
called the police, the investigation has begun. The police could not find any traces of George due to the fact that the parents had already trampled around while searching. They could only find the blue hat left by George. A month passed, followed by another, but no one could find George. What made him run away? And where is he now? When Peppa went home, he decided to return for some reason, but the way out of the house goes down the slope. He fell during the descent. Due to the slope of the mountain, he did not stop
keep
when
on going
falling
until your
and
hair
began to
gets
tumble
soft.
down the mountain. Snow began to stick to him, gradually forming a ball. When that ball of snow with George inside stopped, George couldn't even move. He could barely breathe. He was lying without oxygen, unable to move and in the freezing cold. It's a terrible situation. He was probably alive when Peppa was building the snowman, but he couldn't call for help from Pepper, who was decorating the snowman in the meantime. No one has touched the snowman since then. However, it could not stand forever.
Yeah.
And one warm spring morning, Pepper went for a walk and saw her brother.
I'm not your brother.
Since then, she has been afraid of snowmen, of what might lurk inside them.
Oh man.
Pepper's family loves spending time together. This time they were playing hide and seek. No one could have guessed how badly it would end. It all started with George not being the best player. He decided to hide under the table. Pepper immediately found him and scolded him for hiding poorly, saying that next time he needed to find a better place. Next time he was hiding, he decided to find the most unexpected place. He thought he would definitely win. His parents encouraged him, and he went to find a place to hide. He ran into his parents' room and saw a quite tall vase. He figured that if he could fit in there, Pepper wouldn't be able to find him. He brought a chair, stood on it, and began to climb into the vase head first. However, he couldn't. He got stuck upside down, unable to get out. He started to worry and was about to call for help, but he thought if he could just squeeze a bit further, he could flip over into the wider bottom of the vase. He squeezed as much as he could, exhaling the remaining air. There was no air left in his lungs, and he couldn't even breathe properly because his body was compressed. There was no air left in his lungs, and he couldn't even breathe properly because his body was compressed. His heart pounded from anxiety, worsening the situation because the vase had limited oxygen, which was quickly depleting over time. He waited and waited for Pepper to find him. Every second felt like an eternity. Finally, Pepper entered the room and saw the top part of George sticking out of the vase. Pepper was happy that she had found him and laughed at him for choosing a conspicuous hiding spot again. However, George didn't react at all. He didn't move his legs or make any sounds. Pepper realized something was wrong. She stood on a chair and tried to reach him with her hands, but the vase slipped and fell to the ground, shattering. Pepper watched as her motionless brother lay among the vase shards, the shards embedded in his hands, legs, stomach, and face. A red puddle quickly formed on the floor. Pepper immediately screamed, calling for their parents' help. They were shocked and rushed George to the hospital. He received numerous stitches, lay in a coma for several days, but he survived. Scars remained on his body, reminding him of that day. He no longer enjoyed playing hide and seek. On this day, the temperature dropped to record levels. It had not been that cold for years. But it was Richard's birthday, and George wanted to go to Richard's birthday party. So he brought a present for his friend, a cake in the shape of a carrot. Pepper couldn't go with him. She was ill and Mummy Pig had to look after her.
Daddy Pig, are you sure you want to go? I have a bad feeling about this.
Yes, I
The
do.
weather report said it's dangerous to drive in this snowfall.
No need to worry. I've driven in worse weather. I'll call you when I arrive.
Oh!
Mummy Pig trusted him.
Bro, hit him with the... That's okay, I'll be fine. Go!
Wrapped George in
Bro doesn't
clothes.
even have a mouth.
Daddy Pig put on some quite warm clothes, but they turned out to be not meant for this weather.
He has a
They went outside and got in the car.
He has a blue one.
Daddy
He
Pig drove
has
to
a blue
Richard's house. The drive must have been about an hour.
one. Bro, look at my toe.
The car stalled. He decided that it wasn't far to the rabbit's house and they could just walk there. Otherwise, they might freeze in the car. He took the present and matches and walked with George. After a few minutes of walking, he was already starting to feel his nose and cheekbones going numb. George was walking behind him. He was quite warm in his clothes. The visibility was getting worse, but they had to keep moving to make it. Daddy Pig wished he had worn something warmer. He realized that he would freeze his nose and...
Go check out the snow. And my other friend, it's so she's just going at me.
cheeks, which which would hurt for several days. The snowstorm was over. By now, he should have reached the rabbit's house, but looking around, he realized he was in an unknown place. The tracks had been covered, but he didn't panic yet. He realized that if he walked in one direction, he could reach a road that would take him to some settlement, and maybe even someone would drive by and rescue them. As he walked, he thought about the fact that this frost was the worst he had ever encountered. Suddenly, George said he was hungry. The only food was the present he had for Richard. Daddy Pig took off his gloves, unwrapped the present. It took no more than 15 seconds, and yet his fingers were numb. As he held the cake in his hands, he realized it was hard as a rock. He definitely needed to start a fire. While he was thinking about it, his toes went numb from the cold. He got scared and started pacing back and forth to warm them. He stomped until he felt the warmth returning. He stacked the wood, got matches, and very carefully started a fire. Warming themselves by the fire, they finished the cake. He thought he was going to be a few hours late. As soon as they moved away from the fire, he felt that frost again. But he felt he could still walk for a long time. With his weight, he broke through the crust of ice. He didn't notice the pond in front of him. This brought out Daddy Pig. This problem would delay him another hour. He knew he had to dry his clothes immediately. It is impossible to warm feet if they are wet. As he built the fire, he took off his glove and his fingers were instantly numb. It was strange to him how his hands behaved from the cold. It was as if they no longer belonged to his body. When he touched a branch, he had to look at his hand to make sure he had actually grabbed it. The fire was getting hotter. In a minute, he would be able to lay thick boughs, and then he would throw off his wet shoes and warm his feet by the fire. It was his fault. He should not have put the fire under the fir tree, for there was a lot of snow on it. Daddy Pig was scared, as if he had heard his own death sentence. For about a minute, he sat there without moving, just looking at the buried fire. Even if he managed to get the fire going again, he would probably lose several toes. His fingers weren't moving anymore, so he wasn't pulling individual branches, but gathering them by handfuls. And George stood by and watched the whole thing. Daddy Pig was tormented by the thought that his feet were stiffening more and more. He began to feel envious of George, who was dressed very warmly and not wet. He couldn't get the match out of the box. While he was trying to stick it out, the whole pack fell into the snow. He wanted to pick them up, but he couldn't. His fingers wouldn't obey his will.
Why did
the solution came. He pulled the match out with his teeth. He inhaled the acrid smoke and coughed. He couldn't get one match out of the pack, so he grabbed the whole pack with the palms of his hands. A bright flame erupted. He lit branches with it, and finally, he was able to get the fire going. He began to put small branches on the fire. Fire is life. It must not be missed. He looked around desperately and saw George, who had been standing next to him all this time. He was shocked to see this. However, Daddy Pig was beginning to lose his mind. A thought flashed through his mind. He remembered a story where someone had killed an animal and crawled inside the body to wait out the night. He would kill George and plunge his hands into its warm body to warm and revive them. Then he would build a new fire. Daddy Pig pounced on him, and then he realized that his hands couldn't grip and his fingers wouldn't bend. He squeezed George in his hands and stood like that for a while. He realized that it was physically impossible for him to kill George. At this moment, he realized the danger. It was no longer a question of whether he would freeze his fingers and toes off, or even whether he would lose his hands and feet. It was now a matter of life and death, and there was no hope of rescue. Panic-stricken terror seized him, and he ran.
Face, I don't like
he ran without thought, without purpose, in a fear he had never felt before.
Saw that ugly face for
the blood rushed a little to his limbs. Maybe if he kept running, his legs would warm up. Maybe he could even make it to the house where they were now celebrating a birthday. Sure, a few fingers and toes were frozen solid, but his friends would take care of him. But in his mind, he knew he didn't have long to live.
Hi? What happened? No, he's not here. I thought Daddy Pig stayed home. I hope they find him soon.
No, please. Please tell me it was the dead Peppa. The little goblin.
Susie Sheep lived an ordinary life, no different from other children. But without a father, her mother had a hard time. She worked 10 hours every day to earn a living for her daughter. She was employed sewing
Did she
clothes,
sell
a
her
labor that
fur?
paid very little. She had no savings.
I am the son.
But one day she received a job offer. She had an interview and would finally be able to get the high salary she had
I
dreamed of
never knew
all
I
these
was the
years.
son.
She immediately quit her old job that she hated so much. Soon her life would get better. But 4 days later, she gets a call. Something has changed, and now they don't need an employee. She tried to call her previous job, but it was already taken. Not having a job would mean she'd soon run out of money to pay her bills and food for herself and Susie. She tried to find some place to work, but everywhere either had no jobs or she didn't know how to do the job. Mummy Sheep realized that she had no savings left. But she was told on the phone that she could be hired in a week's time. She sold some unnecessary things to buy food and waited.
Oh my.
And towards the end of that week, she received a call. She was told again that they could not provide a place to work. Mummy Sheep didn't get much sleep that day. She couldn't bear to think about what was going to happen next. But she was not allowed to drag her daughter into this. She began to eat less. Now she didn't buy expensive foods like eggs and sweets. At the same time, she looked for a job. But she couldn't find one.
Why can't you not
One day
just
she
go
went to the
to
store,
Peppa's house?
picked up some groceries, and the payment failed. But she'd already sold everything she could. And she remembered a thing that's valuable here. It's her wool. She rented a shaving machine and shaved off all the wool. It was enough wool to make one beautiful dress. She was able to sell it and got the money. It was a lot of money for her. Things made from animal products were very valuable here. The money would be enough to last her for weeks. However, a week went by, and someone decided to hire her to work as a cashier. She was overjoyed because now she would be able to get back to her normal life.
No,
But
it's
when she went for the interview, she was thrown out.
cartoon.
No one wanted to hire her because of her appearance.
Right, guys, my
No one
sister
liked the
just
fact
sewing.
that she had no wool at all. So Mummy Sheep realized she had to wait for her hair to grow back. That could take a long time.
Hair smells like strawberries.
She paid no
Yeah.
water, electricity,
She used
gas, or
strawberry.
heating bills.
Oh, what
She ate
happened to
only
her?
the cheapest
Oh, she
food,
shaved.
but it didn't help.
Ran out of a,
The money ran out, so she decided to shave her daughter.
she ran out of her job.
Susie
She
Sheep
lost
resisted,
her job
but she
and
had
she
no
had
choice.
to shave her
Her
hair
wool made a sweater.
to sell the
She quickly managed to sell it because it was
I think
already
that's
full,
her
the season for
daughter
selling
right now.
woolen goods. Susie had since stopped going out. She was embarrassed by her appearance. All she did was lie in bed and go out to eat
She
occasionally.
looks like Peppa.
But over the past few days, the temperature has dropped rapidly.
Wait, do pigs
They
have
stayed at home in the cold. The heating
they
had not
do,
been
they
turned on
just
because
don't
of
have fur.
non-payment of bills. Because they had no wool, they were very cold. They had no warm blankets. Mummy Sheep had sold most of their belongings. But they tried not to get desperate. Until one day, Susie Sheep fell ill. She woke up and felt very tired. Chills and fever. Being in the constant cold was dangerous for a young body. And in addition to illness, she suffered from loneliness. Mummy Sheep bought medicine and found she was left with almost no money. Buying the medication was not part of her plans. She needed to change something urgently. Mummy Sheep waited until nightfall and left the house. She went to the supermarket. There was no one there at night. It was so cold that she was afraid of getting sick herself. She smashed the front glass door with a rock and went inside. She had never stolen in her life. In their village, stealing was treated very strictly. She took some food, a
I
blanket,
think
and
they
a
would
toy
have did
she
the
saw on
same
the
thing
shelf.
what she did to herself right
She reached
now.
home, covered Susie with the blanket, and went to sleep. In the morning, Susie got some delicious food and her new toy, which became her only friend for as long as she grew fur. Eventually, Mummy Sheep managed to find a job, and better times came for their family. But now the fear of being without food
Who
and
is
sustenance
that? I
will never
keep on
leave
seeing
them.
some random
Peppa
guy.
Pig loves to go
the
to the beach
background.
with her family. On this sunny day, they were going to have a
That's her
vacation
father.
together. When they arrived,
Daddy
the beach was empty. There was no one around.
Oh,
However,
Bobby's
that was just the way they liked it.
Oh my
A vacation for
Guys,
one
if you don't know
family
what a
that no one
MetaQuest
would
is,
disturb.
it's an Oculus.
Pepper went to
It's
play
those-
ball with
it's the
George.
VR thing.
Daddy Pig wanted
You're
to play
able
with
to put
them,
it on your
but
eyes.
Pepper had her own idea.
Why are you covering?
She
I
really
can't
wanted
see.
to bury him in the sand. It seemed to her that it was just a fun activity that couldn't hurt, but she was wrong. After Pepper and George buried him under the sand, he felt the
We're
heat of
watching
the
it.
scorching sun, and he began to fall asleep. Pepper and George were making sand castles. They were
I
playing together
knew
so
it.
much
She
that they
just puts her
completely
head there so
forgot
she
that
can
Daddy
get all
Pig
the
was lying buried in the
attention.
sand. At that of the sun in the heat, while he was
What
sleeping,
the?
he didn't notice how he was in this situation.
He
He started
was buried
sweating
in the
profusely. His heart started beating fast. His temperature rose so much that he got a heat stroke. At this time, Mummy Pig and the children had played and started to go back. But suddenly they saw
Guys,
a
look
hat on a heap
outside.
of sand standing in the water, which was brought by the tide, managed to get him safely onto the water. She couldn't carry him off because of his great weight. But things got
I
worse.
finally
The low
won.
tide had started to come in. She only had to hold him, waiting for the tide to go out. Otherwise, he would be swept out to sea and have no chance of surviving. But suddenly, Pepper, ignoring the instructions, ran towards them. Pepper, who had been running to meet Mummy Pig, now got caught in the current herself and was being carried through the
Did you
water.
see snow?
Mummy Pig could not swim to her by saving Daddy Pig. She had to make a choice. She had to save someone alone.
Oh my god.
She let go of Daddy
It's
Pig's
only
body
a
and
little
swam
bit.
after Pepper.
No,
George was
it's
crying as he watched the
water
situation from the
rose.
shore. And Mummy Pig managed to save Pepper.
Oh!
Sitting down on the sand, they watched Daddy Pig being carried far away
No
on the
hugs.
waves.
We're cold.
And there was nothing they could do to help.
We're cold. We have our Christmas blankets. Yeah.
Also has the snowflakes and paintings that have this pattern.
Ah! George! Where'd George go?
Where's George?
We're just gonna cut this part out.
No. Austin,
Where is
you
George?
just pause. Okay.
It was a good viewpoint with a view of nature.
Right.
They had already had a good time and were about to leave. But Daddy Pig found George missing. They started calling for him, but he didn't respond. Soon the police began a search. They searched the entire mountain, but George seemed to have disappeared without a trace. They then began to search deeper into the woods. And after a while, George woke up. It was a dark, damp place. His whole body ached. Having fallen from such a height, he had only broken. He scratched himself on the walls of the sewer as he fell, and he cried out in fear and pain. But no one heard him. For that moment, they were looking for him down the mountain.
Get away. Just act normal. You don't have to act like that.
I'm going down here.
began to
Nobody
rain.
can find me.
Miss Rabbit went back to the top of the mountain to continue her work and wait there for George. She hoped he would be able to find his way back.
But God, I
He was right
saw.
beside her, and his cries were now drowned out by
Stop
the sound
hitting
of the
me.
rain. The rain continued to pour, and George, sitting in the hole, gradually became soaked. The water was rising, and George could feel the cold creeping into his bones. He was up to his waist in the cold water, and breathing became increasingly
I'm going
difficult
to
as
my
there was little
room.
oxygen in the air around him. Time stretched slowly, and each moment seemed like an eternity. Finally, the rain stopped, and it was already evening. Miss Rabbit was about to leave work, but she heard a baby crying. She was shocked. She immediately called George's family to inform them that he had been found and called the rescue team. George was given a blanket and some food so he could wait for the rescuers. He wasn't so scared anymore because he knew he would be taken care of. And as it started to get dark, Mr. Bull arrived. He arrived with a construction crane that would bring down a special place where George could lie down. The work to rescue George has begun. The crane kept going down and down. It stopped as the chain ended. George's rescue crate hovered in the air a meter above him. Mr. Bull assessed the situation. To dig George out would require digging a great deal of soil from the top of the mountain. At the same time, after a rainstorm, the walls of the drain could collapse.
Cold and flu season just got a whole lot easier, thanks to all the savings at Deep.
The walls of the drain could collapse on George. The nearest place to extend the chain was an
Guys,
hour
if you
away,
wanted to watch
but action
cartoons,
was urgent.
you want
He
to watch
got a rope
cartoons,
and used it to lengthen the chain.
Cartoon corruption.
No, not cartoon corruption. Oh, is that what's wrong?
These are the tales of Pepper EXE. It all began late one night in the pig house. Pepper and
It's about to be
George
an hour,
snuck
this
out of
video.
bed to play an unofficial version
Oh, we've seen this
of
one.
the Happy Mrs.
Yeah, guys,
Chicken
we're gonna show
game
you.
Pepper
Why
the
does George
Troll on
look
the
like
dark
that?
web.
George can't talk.
I can just watch it.
Watch.
The screen began to glitch with strange
Peppa, run out of the way.
air began to crack and bleed. Something Pepper couldn't look away from the screen. She could see through it into
Why is
another
Daddy
realm.
Pig naked?
Became lost in the spectral screaming abyss, hiding just behind the flicker rate.
George is
Peppa's
not
face
watching
began
this.
to
He's
twist
just looking at
and
Peppa.
contort. She had changed.
No, that knife definitely
Heard the
touched
commotion,
him.
and George made his escape. He had to find Mummy
I can
Pig.
do that if you want me
No, stop being weird.
to. I'm doing it. Check it out now.
Hurry up, George. Stop taking your little time. Go, go, go.
What happened to Daddy Pig?
We don't know. That's her right there.
The television began acting strangely.
Eat it. He's running. No, he's running. No, it's fine. See, it's funny.
George tried to tell Mummy Pig, but she wasn't paying attention.
He turned into a llama.
Oh dear, it appears someone has broken the television and smeared poo all over the wall.
Oh.
Mummy Pig was furious with George.
1, 2, 3, 180. Peppa wants to play the lights off game.
What is your emergency?
How could they understand?
Respond to the pig residence for a possible domestic disturbance. Over.
Roger that. We are on our way.
I always knew that Daddy Pig was trouble.
There. Cause why is his eyes look like that? Looking like he don't wanna die.
We are on scene at the pig house, attempting to make contact.
It's the police. Open up or we're coming in. Stand back, Panda.
Why'd you do that?
Nobody move!
Over here, Carl. We got a real mess.
Oh my God. What's been going on in here?
I think we have signs of a struggle.
Well now, it looks like someone left us a little souvenir. Just what I thought. That straight dude.
Look, there's a message.
Unit 15 on scene at the pig residence.
George was here.
Looks like we have a crime scene here. Suspect's name's George.
Peppa wants to play the lights off.
Did you hear that?
No.
Must be George. Sounds like he's completely lost his mind.
We better
Peppa wants
split
to
up.
play the lights
You check
off
upstairs
game.
and I'll clear this floor.
Roger that.
Peppa wants to play the lights off game. Yes, she wants to play it. She wants to play the lights off game. Lights off
Daddy Pig,
game.
is that you? Peppa, are you okay?
Cushions up.
Peppa wants to play the lights off game.
George, come on out now. We don't want to do this the hard way.
Just just watch it. That's why I can never watch anything with you.
She wants to watch. She wants to play the lights off game. Stop! Stop!
Pepper wants to play the lights off game.
What is that?
Listen. You, what are you?
George, hands in the air. Don't move. You are under arrest.
Paying for the Wi-Fi.
George tried to tell the officer that Pepper was only playing dead, but he wouldn't listen.
Save it for the judge, you psycho. Well, hi there, little guy. Subject on the move. But there's something here.
What is it?
I don't know. It's some kind of little horse.
A little horse. Wait, say that again.
Have they not been feeding you, little buddy? You're safe with me. It's okay. Come on, buddy. That's a good boy. Wait, no, that's my hand. No, that hurts. Stop!
What is your status? Are you okay?
Oh my God!
I can't understand you, man. Please repeat. What the? Stop right there. Don't move. Holy Christ. Unit 15 requesting backup at the pig house. Shots fired.
George made his way back to the computer room, but there was no sign of Daddy Pig. George was pulled into an alternate dimension. Daddy Pig is quite the expert at catching victims in his web.
Authorities continue the search for a cold-blooded killer tonight. This comes after the discovery of a gruesome crime scene at the pig house. Police say George Pig unleashed a brutal fit of rage. Several victims are still missing. Please report any sighting of George Pig to the police immediately. Consider him armed and dangerous. In other news, fears mount of an escaped zoo animal on the loose as reports flood in of a large lizard-like creature attacking vehicles.
These are the tales of Pepper EXE. Our tale begins late one night in the pig house. Pepper and George were fast asleep in their beds until something began to happen. Peculiar noises and strange lights flashed through the window and woke Pepper up.
What's that sound? George, it's a UFO. Daddy, there is a UFO outside our window.
A UFO? That's nonsense. It's probably just a weather balloon. Now get back to bed before I slap you.
Pepper and George, it's 3 in the morning and you've woke us up. No more cartoon corruption videos before bed.
We really saw a UFO. Please believe us.
What on earth was that sound?
It must be a burglar. Well, that's all right. I'm strapped. This bad mother will take his silly head clean off. I'm going to handle this. You stay here and call the police. Who's there? Come on out now so I can blast you. Madame Gazelle, what are you doing in my house at 3 in the morning?
Madame Gazelle wouldn't respond. She just stood there staring off into space.
All right then, have it your way. Bing bong boom. What are you?
The visitor was not Madame Gazelle. A transmission, something, a shapeshifter from the other side, older than the stars. The entity's presence wormed its way through Daddy Pig's fragile mind.
Get out of my brain. Say hello to my little friend.
I wonder what's taking him so long. Was that a gunshot? Peppa, you and George stay here. I'm going to go find Daddy Pig.
Peppa, come see this.
George, there is nothing here.
Where's Peppa?
Peppa woke to find herself in a very strange place.
Danny, are you okay?
Danny Dog was not okay. The visitors had scoured the stars for millennia in hopes that one day their experiments would prove successful. In their relentless pursuit of mastery, the alien entities descend with a manic fervor to experiment. To them, subjects are raw material to be twisted and refined, their very essence subjected to deranged manipulations. As the eldritch machinery hums, their obsession is clear. They are striving to unlock unfathomable secrets, heedless of the horrors they unleash in their mad quest for transcendence. The visitor's experiment has failed.
Good news, George. We found Pepper. She was just wandering around outside. She do be looking a little crazy, but she has had a long night.
George tried to tell Daddy Pig that something was wrong with Pepper, but he wouldn't listen.
Don't worry, George. Everything is fine. Now get some sleep. Good night.
George, I am going to swallow your soul.
To do ranged manipulations.
Breath is lit. Did that just go up my circle, 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 circle? And your reason to just when I lost it, just one thing I looked at the side of us. How was the turkey on the bench sitting on the Bruh, I waited 20 minutes. And you see me just right now. Guys, something's happened. Something's happened. Guys, you guys are gonna watch this one. You guys are gonna watch this one. Womp, 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 womp. One time I go, it was all it I wanted. I found not stored. And your reason to just when the scars you pick up that I want to. One time I got it was always drinking and went to the Panados. And your reason to just when I scarred to just wanted I loaded the side of us. Ay, don't look. Guys, nothing's happening. Whoa. I can't be a person. I'm Karina, and I love people, so can you get your cheeks?
Zaxby's just perfected the Philly again with our signature chicken, sauteed pepper and onions, melty cheese, and garlic aioli. Grilled or fried. Now that's a Zaxby's Philly. Who's got the sauce? Zaxby's.
I am the sauce.
Take that up a little bit higher. You should feel that, like right back here.
Oh
yeah, I felt that.
Good. That is so much better than last week.
Thanks. I've been doing them every night.
These are the tales of Pepper EXE. It all began late one night in the pig house. Pepper and George had snuck out of bed to play an unofficial version of the...
Look at me.
Tri-state area. Officials urge residents to stay indoors. Subscribe to Cartoon Corruption and leave a comment for more videos.
Subscribe. Yeah, you heard us. Subscribe, everybody.
These are the tales of Pepper EXE. Our tale begins late one night in the pig house. Pepper and George were fast asleep in their beds until something began to happen. Peculiar noises and strange lights flashed through the window and woke Pepper up.
What's that sound?
Guys, don't say these words at school. Not definitely say them. And videos that you make. Otherwise, you're gonna get your account deleted. But I don't know how some other people are able to say like the F word, the WPH word, the D word, which is dick. if I just said it. So yeah, that's what it is. Thank you everybody for watching and like and subscribe. Bye!